First, and most important, is the fact that by 1966, most all of the muscle car lovers, like you and me, were enjoying the new mid-size muscle cars a la Pontiac Chevy SS396, Fairlane GT, Comet, Cyclone, Olds 442, and Buick GS to name a few. As for AMC, their mid-size performance cars were a few years away. To make matters worse for the full-size performance cars that ruled from 1958 to 1964 were the new muscle performance pony cars, like the Plymouth Barracuda, Mustang 428 Cobra Jets, the Mustang Boss cars, Camaro Z28 and SS396, and your Firebird, which also came with some impressive performance engines. Getting back to the full-size cars, Pontiac always enjoyed #1 classifications, thanks to dominating the races on the NASCAR ovals thanks to Smokey Yunick and Fireball Roberts and a bevy of other Pontiac drivers, including champion Joe Weatherly and the outstanding throttleman Junior Johnson. They all drove those full-size Pontiac. On the drag strips, drivers like the farmer Arnie Best, Harold Ramsey in his Union Park Pontiac Catalina, and Jim Wayne, who drove for Ace Wilson's Royal Pontiacs, were top performers. They helped push the Pontiac brand, especially with those SD Super Duty 421 dual quad ponchos, as they are known in the industry. However good these full-size cars did on the tracks and as popular as they were on the nation's boulevards, they just couldn't compete with the mid-size and pony muscle cars. Period. Which brings us to 1966 and those full-size Pontiacs that still sold very well to the older crowd and family-oriented consumers. To answer your question, 1966 found numerous full-size Pontiacs available, from sedan to hardtop to convertible to station wagon. The 1966 Pontiac was part of the third generation of Pontiac, 1965 to 1970, which featured an extended wheelbase from 120 to 121 inch, albeit a very minor extension. The bodies were heavier than the prior generation, and the Catalina was still the entry-level Pontiac that year and for years to come. The engines available were the 389 and 421 V8 South, and for the performance buffs, you could still order the Tri-Power 389. Although the standard Catalina engine was a 265-horse, 389 two-barrel, a 421 high output with tri-power was available on the Catalina 2+2 Ultra Performance model. So that pretty sums up the Catalina, which is the entry model. Notable here is that 1966 was the last year a consumer could order the two-barrel carb setup. Also important is that even though there was a 1950 Catalina, it was not a standalone model and only denoted a version of the Chieftain 8 and Deluxe 8. In 1959, Catalina received its first standalone model designation as the entry-level, full-size Pontiac. The Bonneville, meanwhile, was more luxurious and was entering its fourth generation. The Bonneville appeared sooner than the Catalina, namely, in 1958, and was always the most expensive of the full-size Pontiac. The same engines that powered the Catalina were also offered in the Bonneville, which combined luxury and performance when powered by those tri-power engines. Most notable is that the Bonneville was different, as it rode on an extended 124-inch wheelbase versus the 121-inch Catalina. The Grand Prix, meanwhile, was always a bit different, as it rode on the Catalina's smaller 121-inch wheelbase and tried, over the years, to merge the best of personal luxury with the best of performance. It debuted in 1962 on a 100 wheelbase with the choice of performance engines. Notable is that the popular 338-horse 389 Tri-Power was not available in 1966 on the Grand Prix, as the sole performance engine was the 421 with 3 deuces. Horsepower for the 421 Ho was in at 376 horses, which was quite impressive. Other 4-barrel engines were available, but a 2-barrel engine was not in the mix, as the Grand Prix nomenclature had to do with performance. Of the 3 models, the Bonneville lasted the longest, selling all the way through the 2005 model year. The Grand Prix made it through the 2002 model year, while the Catalina's final year was 1981. In my lifetime, I owned an almost new 1989 Pontiac Bonneville, and it was a reliable and fun car. However, the paint went bad in about 1 year from purchase. It was diamond dark red, and I remember many other cars having paint problems those years. 2. I still have my 1994 Pontiac Trans, and it only has 15,000 miles on it. As you search for you 1966 full-size poncho, remember that these cars are not worth the big money at the auctions, like the mid-size and pony cars, but do command respect and dollars when equipped with the performance engines. Good luck in your search for your Pontiac.